Hi, welcome to Crash Course. I'm Laurel, and I'm here to cover the 8 major moments of the contemporary oppression of people and acquisition of rights over time. Today, we are going to start with some events that created oppression. To start, let's talk about the major court case, Swan versus Charlotte Mecklenburg Board of Education in 1971. This case dealt with busing in response to the integration of schools, which had been implemented by the Brown versus Board of Education. Although after this case, the freedom of choice was created as a result of the Greene versus County School Board, it failed to successfully end segregation. Swan versus Board of Ed makes it possible for blacks and whites to actually attend school together by providing transportation to all. Next up, we have the GI Bill. Following the end of World War II, veterans returned home and received financial benefits such as loans for homes, new businesses, and free college education. These benefits were extended to Vietnam servicemen when they returned to the U.S. in the 1970s. However, African Americans were excluded from these privileges, having returned from war as well and not reaping the same benefits that white soldiers were rewarded with. Now let's cover women. Major court cases like Roe versus Wade and U.S. versus Morrison helped give women more rights. With these cases, women were allowed to choose what they did with their bodies and allowed to have charges pressed based on gender violence. Although the Morrison case was later repealed under the Commerce Clause, both cases led to women gaining more rights and more respect within society. Following 9/11, there was a significant security threat to the United States. In response, there was a large increase in restrictions to liberties such as the TSA, and due to the association by many Americans with terrorism and Islam, Muslim Americans were stigmatized and in many ways persecuted. Legalization of gay marriage has been a more recent topic of controversy. Many opponents believe that marriage should only be between a man and a woman. Many debates and fights broke out when the issue became more popular. However, in June of 2015, the Supreme Court voted to legalize marriage between 2 men or 2 women. This was a monumental event in American history, signifying a change to a more open mindset. A major event for the United States was the election of Barack Obama, our first African-American president. Elected in 2008, Obama then continued on with a second term until 2016. During his term, he implemented Obamacare, giving health care benefits, the 2014 Immigration Executive Order, and legalizing specific illegal residents within the U.S. nation, and reopened the U.S. Embassy in Cuba. Obama is currently finishing out his term. Let's talk about making history. Sonia Sotomayor was nominated by President Barack Obama on May 26, 2009. She became the first Latina Supreme Court justice in U.S. history and broke many racial and gender barriers to get to her position. She has become a role model for many Hispanics and young women. A very controversial act that has recently come up is the HB2 Act, also known as the Public Facilities Privacy and Security Act. While some states have denied it, North Carolina and Mississippi are 2 states that have quickly picked the law up. The issue presented by this act is the question of which bathrooms transgenders should be allowed to use. The act states that transgender people using public restrooms are only permitted to go in the bathroom of the biological gender in which they were born. This issue raised controversy because it leads to discrimination. As you can see, the United States has made many changes to help with oppression. However, we still seem to have a few setbacks to deal with. What else can be done? It could all be up to all of us to make a difference. Thanks for tuning in to Crash Course. We'll see you next time.